Water, so easily available to some, yet a scarce commodity for others. Around the world, 2.2 billion people still live without proper access to safe drinking water, while some 3.5 billion lack access to safely managed sanitation. And this worrying number, the United Nations says, is threatening the goal of ensuring access for all by 2030.
The thing is, water is often seen by people, but also by decision makers and politicians, as a social or an environmental issue. And that doesn't get as much attention as it would if it was seen as an economic issue, which it is, because it is a driver of employment, and it's a driver of sustainable development. Look at energy, for instance. Energy is a multi-trillion-dollar industry. But we still have 700 million people that don't have access to electricity. Now, governments are very much pushing for electrification because of the economic repercussions. To change the mindset is the importance of showing how water can really be a motor of prosperity just as much as electrification and energy.
The 2024 UN Water Development Report says that as of 2022, roughly half of the world's population experienced severe water scarcity, while 1/4 faced extremely high levels of water stress. The climate crisis isn't helping either. Severe droughts and flooding are already affecting water access for millions. And despite there being enough water around, the biggest challenge, the UN says, is how to get it to people.
Climate change is posing a problem. Now, supply and sanitation only account for 10% of water use. So where climate change will affect us through water is very much through food security and energy security, both of which are highly dependent on water. We should be able to have, no matter where we are, enough water to meet basic human needs.
But with a lack of water security in especially rural areas, many people often migrate, adding strain on existing water systems and resources in the world's urban hubs.
There's very rarely a water-centered approach to governance and institutions, and that's really what we need. It's quite difficult to establish, but once it is established, it allows also business and industry to come in and to talk specifically about water coming from their needs, instead of having these competing needs ending up competing over water. So in this respect, our report is about water prosperity and peace, and this is where it all comes together.
Here in New York, quenching your thirst is rather easy and accessible, and the UN believes this should be the case for everyone. It says with the proper infrastructure management and investment, especially in the developing parts of the world, achieving this basic human need is not impossible. Jody Jacobs, CGTN, New York.